You know all the parts in like a 3-hour long film that just don't really need to be there? That's all that's in this film.
She's beautiful
See, no, I thought we were going to get a star performance from Pamela Anderson in this film, in a film that really deserved it. And we got one of those things. Yeah, this is the kind of film that you see, like, getting completely passed over by the Oscars. Not getting, like, any nominations, I don't think. And you go, what? God, You're like, you've got your outrage at the ready. And then you actually watch it and you go, oh. The Last Showgirl stars Pamela Anderson as a Vegas showgirl who manages to go ugh and yuck at the idea of all the new shows she sees springing up around her for being too lewd after spending 30 years plus in a show where she takes off her clothes. And the interesting thing is that she does put in a really good performance as this character. It's very fascinating what she does, and I like the parallels, I guess. That's half of what this film has going for it, is that she is struggling in her career because there's a lot of ageism and people going after her and saying, oh, you were just cast for your looks and now you're not. You're not able to use that anymore because you're in your 50s. So it's the same thing as, Pamela Anderson went through as she began to age as an actress. Unfortunately, the character is just a horrible person, and I really just hate her. And B, there's nothing else to say. The film's not trying to say anything else about it, except, isn't this rude that this happens? Shots of half-naked women running up the same set of stairs over and over, oppressive announcements by Dave Bautista's character, Shelley having a mental breakdown every 5 minutes and then seemingly being fine as she dances outside in some random Vegas location during a brief montage, and then having another mental breakdown 5 minutes later. Like, it is a good performance by Pamela Anderson, and a good one by Jamie Lee Curtis. It's just, there's nothing else going on here. It's less than 90 minutes long, the film, and half that time is taken up with these dreamy music montages and a hugely unnecessary amount of exposition. So it's not even a problem that we don't like her character that much, or that we don't get to know all these other characters. Like, we just don't get into anything. Being surprised, extremely so, that she can't get a new job after being in the same show for years and years and years, and is not able to further her career as an exotic dancer at the age of 57. It just shows that she's got such a grim, grueling lack of self-awareness that it just feels incredibly unrealistic for any person to be like that. I'm sure that there are people that are that unself-aware, but it just feels a bit silly to be following around someone like that. Billie Lourd also plays her daughter, who's estranged from her, and she's playing her at like college age, like 21-ish. And she's in her mid-30s, so that was also just a weird choice. There were a lot of bizarre choices here. Brenda Song and Kieran Shipka, I enjoyed both of them. But they're just kind of there putting in dancers who are very reasonable and kind to Shelley in return for her constantly being cruel and mean to them and nasty. And same as Dave Bautista, they're just characters who are there to be presented as reasonable people with Shelley at the center. And they're all really nice and chill with her, and she's just constantly horrible to them, and you just go, what are they doing being friends with her? I think it is a shame. There might have been something better here. I don't normally call a film too short, but this really, if they wanted to have all these dreamy montages, they needed to have at least another half hour of film. It's just nuts. But I also don't feel like I would have enjoyed watching that much more. So yeah, it's difficult. They seem to love the idea of giving Pamela Anderson this role, for her to make a big whoa comeback and have one big hurrah, and to have it linked to her own real life, scenario being discarded as her looks faded by her industry. But that seems like the only thing they had. They didn't actually have a story or any idea what they wanted the film to be. They just wanted her to star in it and do that kind of role. And that's really depressing. It's like a poker hand where they're like, oh, I've got an ace, and you're like, oh, and then they're like, that's it. It's ace high. And you're like, okay. So I'm giving, oh, really? That's it. The film's over. 2 stars. Is it just that an aging actress getting a big leading role suddenly is like a big career comeback, is like a popular thing right now. Is that why they thought they could get away with this? Because you kind of need to have a film around her to make it work. Yeah. Subscribe for more hard truths.